Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunda Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivardhari, Jashodhana Gaja Jana Ranjana, Ramana Veeravanachari, Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you can start. By the time you will do the Mangalacharan, the others may also join. Sadhu 7 Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yes, please. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Over to you, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjalashalakhaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnamascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam साधवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखानुतं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, please accept my respectful obeisances. Hare Krishna, Mataji. I need your sincere blessings so that we can discuss another very important topic from Srimad Bhagwatam. So before we actually start with the shlokas of today, following is the summary of how today's discussion is going to help us in our spiritual journey. So this is the chapter where the Mother Earth has been providing the things for everyone. So it represents the heart of the Lord, of the pure devotee of the Lord, that whichever mood anyone come, they try to satisfy their needs. And then like a true mother, like a parents, like even if the children are not favorable to the parents, but still out of their true love, they still try to fulfill the desires to the extent it is possible, right? So we are going to learn so many things. So one of the key word that we are going to take away from entire discussion of today is tolerance, forgiving, right? So we start now. I'll share my screen. Yes. So there are 4 verses we are going to discuss from 21 onwards. So any Prabhuji or Mataji want to read the verse? Or?
May I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please. Yes.
Text 21. Yaksha rakshamsi bhutani pisacha pisitaasanaha bhutesha vatsaduduhu kapale shaktajasavam Vyasavam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Then the yakshas, rakshasas, ghosts and witches who are habituated to eating flesh transformed Lord Shiva's incarnation Rudra, Bhutanatha, into a calf and milked out beverages made of blood and put them in a pot made of skulls. May I read purport also, Prabhuji?
Yes, okay, Mataji, sure.
Purport. There are some types of living entities in the form of human beings whose living conditions and eatables are most abominable. Generally, they eat flesh and fermented blood, which is mentioned in this verse as Shatajasavam. The leaders of such degraded men, known as Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutas, and Pisachas, are all in the mode of ignorance. They have been placed under control of Rudra. Rudra is the incarnation of Lord Shiva and is in charge of the mode of ignorance in the material nature. Another name of Lord Shiva is Bhutanatha, meaning master of ghosts. Rudra was born from between Brahma's eyes when Brahma was very angry at the 4 Kumaras. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. So here we see how Rudra was born, right? And then another name of Lord Shiva is Bhutanatha, who is the master of the ghosts. So it is a very commonly misunderstood topics, even among the devotees, practicing devotees, the position of Lord Shiva. So even though, he is the master of ghosts, he is in charge of the mode of ignorance, okay, but that does not mean that the Lord Shiva is in mode of ignorance. It is something like a jailer in the jail. Yes, he is in jail, but it does not mean he is a prisoner. He is a well-respected person among the society. And And the best example that Srila Prabhupada often quotes is the example of the milk and the curd. So milk represents Lord Krishna, and from him curd can be derived, right? So curd is another form of milk, but vice versa is not possible. From curd we cannot derive the milk. So Lord Shiva has come from Vishnu. Origin is Lord Krishna, yes. So and he is so absorbed into the devotional service. One of the names of the Lord Shiva is Asutosh. So there is a nice story. Once a person goes to a temple, and then he finds a very heavy brass bell in that Shiva temple, and he plans, looking at that bell, that if I steal this bell, it will help me to survive for next many weeks. So he plans it accordingly, and then comes in the night, and then in night he stands on the Shivalinga, and Lord Shiva is so merciful. He appears in front of that thief, and he says, till today people used to come and offer me milk, some leaves, okay, different type of things, but you are the one who is offering yourself to me, so I'm very much pleased. Ask me what you want. So he's very easily pleased. Okay. Why is he so easily pleased? Is because he is always absorbed. If he requests Lord Shiva for something, right, he do not want to be disturbed. If you're well absorbed into your work, okay, and if the child, this you would have seen it sometimes or heard it, if the father is very busy in the work, and if the child has got less marks, and if he has to get the signature on the mark sheet, he'll come silently. And when the father is super busy, he will ask him to sign, so that father does not look. By to jaldi se le or you go, right? Because the father is busy. So similarly, Lord Shiva is busy into meditation, in remembering the Lord. Okay. So Lord Shiva says, right, to Mother Parvati, उमा कहूँ मैं अनुभव अपना, सच हरि भजन jagat sab sapna. So rest everything is of no use, but only the name of the Hari and his bhajan, that only is the truth. So we learn from here that and we would have seen, I mean, why we are spending so much time here about discussing about Lord Shiva, because as I said, it is one of the very commonly misunderstood topic. I mean, one of the biggest outcome of coming actually into devotional service is to never ever disrespect even an ant. But and there is no comparison between the demigods and Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. Lord Shiva is the topmost among the devotees. So if we cannot disrespect even an ant, there is no question of disrespecting even demigods. And then no doubt about comparing Lord Shiva. Okay, he is the topmost devotee. When we say Vancha Kalpataru Vaischa, we seek the blessings of the devotees. So our mood of looking towards the demigods should be to seek their blessings as Vaishnavas, who are at much higher platform than us. They have been specifically chosen by the Lord to do certain specific duties. So their position is much higher than where we are. So yeah, so that is something I wanted to emphasize here. And another thing is we should not look at the outer covering. we should look at the content inside. From externally, it is another important lesson. Okay, externally we might make mistake looking at the external appearance of the person. If someone looks and reads this, if we just take this section, this paragraph out from Bhagwatam without much reference, right, people might easily misunderstand who is the one who is beverages made of blood and put them into a pot made of skull. Okay, so there are so many things in nectar of instruction. Right? It is mentioned if there is a gold, even in a bad place, if some good quality is there, even if the person is not good, right? I mean, the environment, surroundings can be anything, but we should be like a honeybee who looks, even if there is a dirt around, maybe sits only on the only whatever is good in that place, there only it can sit. There is a dirt everywhere in this world, right? If you want to become positive, then by no means removing the negativity is an option, because if we do so, the entire world will finish. I was hearing something very strong by Srila Prabhupada, that our position is nothing better than a sugar. How? Because externally he might be sounding very clean, okay? But inside our heart, it is full of dirt in the form of our thoughts, right? Kam, Krodh, Moh, Matsara. So the Paramatma is sitting along with this Jivatma into that environment, which is not better than a very filthy place. So it is very much related to our today's discussion also, like we were discussing the tolerance. Tolerance is the keyword, right? So the Lord accepts to still sit along with the Jiva in a filthy place like inside our heart, with a hope that one day we will turn towards the Lord. Okay, so we learned many things here. Should not, if I just try to summarize, we should not look at the external appearance. Point 1. Point 2 is what should be our mood of looking towards any demigods, and especially for Lord Shiva. Yes, we go to the next verse now. Any other Prabhuji or Mataji want to read? Sindhu Mataji, I can see.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
22, shall I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Pranam, Prabhuji. Text 22. Tatahayo dhandashukaha sarpanagascha takshakam vidhaya vatsam duduhur bilapatre vishampayaha. Translation, purport by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, cobras and snakes without hoods, large snakes, scorpions, and many other poisonous animals took poison out of the planet Earth as their milk and kept this poison in snake holes. They made a calf out of takshaka. Purport: within this material world, there are various types of living entities, and the different types of reptiles and scorpions mentioned in this verse are also provided with their sustenance by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The point is that everyone is taking his eatables from the planet Earth. According to one's association with the material qualities, one develops a certain type of character. Payaha panam bhujanganam. If one feeds a serpent milk, the snake will simply increase his venom. However, if one supplies milk to a talented sage or saint, the sage will develop finer brain tissues by which he can contemplate higher spiritual life. Thus, the Lord is supplying everyone food, but according to the living entity's association with the modes of material nature, the living entity develops his specific character.
Thank you, Manji.
Thank you.
So another very powerful verse. So we see Mother's Earth is also fulfilling the needs of serpents. So Bhagavad Gita 9.29, Samo Sarva Bhuteshu, right? The Lord is equal to everyone. And then the next question that comes in the mind is, if he is equal to everyone, then what is the point of doing bhakti? Right? Those who are not doing the bhakti is equal. Those who are doing bhakti is equal. Then why should we do it? So now the further part of the verse says that those who are devotee of the Lord has special favor for them. Now again, this can create a doubt in our mind. If he is specially favorable to them, then how can we say the Lord is equal to everyone? Right? It is something very interesting to understand. And we often take the example of a teacher, right? The teacher is teaching to everyone in the class, but those students who do their homework on time, who are disciplined, who are punctual, then even though teacher is paying equally, teacher is like distributing the knowledge, but those who are obedient, the teacher has a special focus for them. We cannot say the teacher is biased in this case. So it is a very important point for our entire spiritual life, because see, we cannot be a student in the class of Srila Prabhupada who is doing just his homework. See, Srila Prabhupada is very merciful. 16 rounds, 4 equality principles. That's it. Back door is there. And he will open the door. The question is, if Srila Prabhupada is opening his heart to such an extent, then how can we just remain very impersonal? It cannot be a rule book. Rule book means just follow it, you will get it. There is no rasa, there is no taste, there is no reciprocation there. Okay? When it comes to bhakti, becoming impersonal is a very dangerous thing. Once an example was asked, there was a discussion. What do we mean by becoming impersonal in bhakti? There are different philosophies, right? One is called impersonalism completely. They don't even accept the personal form of the Lord. Right? Now, this impersonal word can find out its place even within bhakti. How? So there was a very senior sannyasi, and he was doing his japa, and a person serving in the temple, for his service, he needed to know what is the time, and then the only clock in that center was not working, and he needed to know the time. So he immediately saw a wristwatch in the hand of the sannyasi who was fully absorbed into his japa. He goes to him, just lifts his hand, looks at the time, and puts the hand back. This is a very nice example of being impersonal within bhakti. See, it was great sannyasi. He did not react, said anything. But we need to be very living when we deal with the devotees. Everyone has a unique relationship with the Lord, and we cannot see it. But at least if we accept at this platform that the Lord has a unique relationship and Lord needs that love, then anything and everything what we can do to make their relationship stronger, if we have our focus on this line throughout our life is automatically successful. I just repeat, if we always have a focus on how we can make the relationship of the Lord and the living entities around, that's it. We will make them enthusiasm. When they need help, we'll do it very honestly so that they get uplifted into the movement. Srila Prabhupada said, ISKCON is my body. And if we are serving the devotees, we are serving Srila Prabhupada. If we can become a reason of one small smile on the face of Srila Prabhupada, there is nothing else that we want. We don't have to settle. This is another principle, mantra of the life. We don't have to settle neither in this world. We don't have to settle at a fixed position within bhakti also. The amount of love that the Brajvasis experiences every day is more than yesterday. And it will be, tomorrow it is going to be even more. So there is no end to the depth of the ecstasy that the spiritual life can carry. Then why do we have a focus just to settle? Today's 16 rounds are done, and I have been following four regulatory principles. If we go deep into the four regulatory principles, one of the principle is no illicit sex, no meat eating, right? Now, if one of the, I don't know if we have discussed this example previously, one of the disciple of Srila Prabhupada was sitting on a chair, okay, and then Srila Prabhupada commented, you're having illicit sex. What I'm trying to emphasize here is like the person was sitting on the chair, right? That's it. But the vision that we look at when we are supposed to be doing our services, and in place of doing the services for the Lord, we are trying to serve this body. Okay, of course, we must never take the things on the face value. We must understand the context. We must understand the motive. It is very easy to misunderstand this point. The relationship which Srila Prabhupada carries with his disciples is unique, and we have no idea, and we have no right to comment on that. The point is, we should understand the essence of that. So when we are supposed to do our services, and if we are sitting on a, basically not doing the services, we can be anywhere. It means we are trying to serve someone other than our husband, right? And there is like, illicit sex. Then another regulatory principle is no meat eating, right? But I think Ishopanishad, third verse, I guess, Atmaha, it comes. I'm not sure about the exact shloka. So Atmaha, it is one of the beginning, in the beginning only. So one who is a killer of the soul, when we are not serving the Lord, when we are not satisfying our hunger of the soul, spiritual hunger of the soul, we are becoming a reason for the death. So-called, point is, soul does not never dies, but we are keeping our soul hungry from its spiritual food. So we become a killer, and a person who kills someone is equal to meat eating, right? There are various stakeholders who are involved who are considered to be meat eater. One who kills, one who distributes, one who cooks, one who facilitates, one who distributes, right? 5, 6 are there. Six different types of stakeholders. So we become the killer of the soul, and hence we are breaking the regulatory principles. So what Srila Prabhupada has given to us, we need to take it to our heart, and it cannot remain to our. It cannot come to our heart until we actually go deep. It is up to us where we want to settle. There are countries where fish is considered to be vegetarian. So if someone wants to break a rule, they'll find a way. But that's why in many of the initiation ceremonies, it is specifically added many places. No meat eating, including eggs and fish. So, well, we come back to our verse. So Mother Earth is tolerant, like that sannyasi sadhu we were discussing. And then whoever needs anything, okay, parents may have children who are not obedient, but they're still loving to the parents. So Srila Prabhupada explains in one of the discourse, there were two asanas, one on the higher, the bigger one, and another smaller and the lower one. Srila Prabhupada went and sat on the lower one. And then when a reporter asked, why are you not sitting on the higher one? Then Prabhupada nicely explained, because you will feel envious if I sit on the higher one. So Srila Prabhupada has the authority. He can see the heart. Okay. So that we don't commit any offense like that reporter. They take a lower position. He never needed to leave Vrindavana. He never needed to do the sadhana that he was doing it so that he sets an example. Right. So currently the position of the society is like we are not even, I mean, Prabhupada says that at least we should be on the Madhyama Adhikari, second level. Right? But the way the things are degrading, it is very important that we remain into the right association. This is the last line of the paragraph. Thus the Lord is supplying everyone food, but according to the living entity's association with the modes of material nature, the living entity develops his specific character. I want to touch base about a discussion about the things that we should not do. Okay, I got an opportunity to attend this session by one of the senior brahmachari here, and then the reference taken was from Madhurya Kadambini, and then written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So there were different kinds of problems that we must not do. Okay, and the common solution for all the problems that we have in our spiritual life was to take the association of the devotees. Okay, do the prayers. So the association is a word which can completely transform our life. We are today in bhakti. I can say it very confidently because I have the live example of Her Grace Suguna Vrinda Devidasi Mataji. So today we, and it applies to all of us, we are in bhakti because at one point in time someone had prayed for us. So it is very important to remain grateful. So this is the third word, GAP. It is the solution of all the problems. Being grateful, G, A for association, and P for prayers, gap. If we follow this gap, then all the gaps from our current position to Krishna will all be mitigated. See, it does not matter how much fallen we are. If we have to go from any place in this world to Vrindavana, we just have to put a Google map and it will take us there. Even if we are in Delhi or in Mumbai or in Dubai or in US, if we put whichever location we are, if we just put destination Vrindavana. It will show us a path. It does not matter how much fallen, how much far we are. What matters is how much receptive we are now at this current moment. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na Sochati na Kangshti. We spend our whole life in remaining in the past or in the future. Right? Either lamenting or expecting something. But we are never present. So if we use our current time, it is very important to remain in present. It is a symbol of the mode of goodness. So when we are chanting, we don't have to worry how much time is passed. We don't have to worry how much time is left. All we have to do is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we focus on our current Mahamantra, the current name, Hare, then our entire chanting, our entire life, His Grace Burjana Prabhu says in his Japa retreat, if you hear one Mahamantra in your 16 rounds, then that is sufficient. That pleases the Lord a lot. One Mahamantra out of 1728. Because 16 into 108 is number. So again, tolerant, forgiving. If the Lord is so mercifully ready to forgive us for all 1727 inattentive rounds, inattentive Mahamantra recitation, just one, right? What is our duty then? Our duty is to become as much alert as we can. Okay, we come back to our verses and we take there are two joint, so we can have one devotee read the sloka and another purport and the translation. Yes, Divya Mataji.
पशवो यव संस्कीरं वत्सं कृत्वा च गोवृषम् अरण्यपात्रे मृगेन्द्रेण च दंष्ट्रिणः क्रव्यादा प्राणिनः क्रव्यं दुदुः स्वे कलेवरः सपर्णवत्स विहगाश्चरं चराचरं एव च. Translation.
Can we give chance to some other devotee, Mataji? Because this is the last verse of the day. But thank you so much for reading, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I read translation, yes, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. I see.
So it is to be, translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The four-legged animals, like the cows, made a calf out of the bull who carries Lord Shiva and made a milking pot out of the forest. Thus they got fresh green grasses to eat. Ferocious animals like tigers transformed a lion into a calf, and thus they were able to get flesh for milk. The birds made a calf out of Garuda and took milk from the planet Earth in the form of moving insects and non-moving plants and grasses. Shall I read purport, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, I see Mataji is there.
Yes, by all means. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are many carnivorous birds descended from Garuda, the winged carrier of Lord Vishnu. Indeed, there is a particular type of bird that is very fond of eating monkeys. Eagles are fond of eating goats, and of course, many birds eat only fruits and berries. Therefore, the words charam, referring to moving animals, and acharam, referring to grasses, fruits, and vegetables, are mentioned in this verse. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Okay, so we will just say two important points here. That in nature there is a proper arrangement. Right? We would have studied this food cycle. There is a dependency of each on another, and then this is how the nature and the living entities sustain their life. Now, one thing here is this human form of life is not meant just to remain one element into this food cycle. Okay, of course, we discussed about 4 regulative principles, so non-veg should not be there. Yeah, true. But the point here is we are an important part of this cycle. Okay, and so much so that if you see a number 6, it is something very interesting. Let me spend, I don't know whether we had discussed it earlier. I will just take maybe 2 to 3 minutes to explain what I really mean here. So I'll share my screen. I found it very interesting and hopefully should help us. So here we go. Yes. So I hope you can see my screen, and I'm going to draw this number. Sorry. Yes. So we can see this number 6. Right. Okay. So in this number 6, this point where this circle is meeting, okay, this point of number 6, this is the human form of life. Because okay, yes, so this point of intersection of this circle with this upper curve, that is the human form of life. So in all other forms, our only business is eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Whichever form of the life we are into, we are always busy in the cycle of this. Right? These are the four actions that we do. And in all this life, whichever form of life we are into, we again go through the 4 stages, which are birth, right? Old age, death, disease. So we are always in the circle of these 4 stages, whichever form of the life we are into. So only when we are in the human form of life, we do have a chance to uplift ourselves and break this circle of life and death. Otherwise we are always circling. So see, nature has an arrangement. If we see a pigeon eats, and every time it puts something in the mouth, it looks left, right, around. Why? Because it is always fearful. In the human form of life, we might be very into risk or something, but at least there is never a time then every morsel we eat and then we are looking left, right. Is someone going to attack us? But because of our consciousness and because of the association with the material nature and the uncontrolled, regulated life, then what has happened is our position has become even degraded than the animals. Animals don't accumulate, they don't have this disease. So they do get their share of the things, whichever part of the world they are into. Now, even an ant gets something, some grains, and an elephant gets thousands of kgs every day. The point is, the nature has its own way of fulfilling the needs. The whole world is designed in such a way that, especially the human beings, they are not meant to do unnecessarily extra endeavor. The human form of the life is meant so that with very less labor, we can use most of our time to progress in our spiritual path. But then the question comes, which comes in our all heart, like all of us will be thinking, oh, it is very easy to say. If we are not going to do hard work, who will pay our EMIs? Who will pay the school fees? It has happened because of our consciousness. Over a period of time, when everybody is involved into earlier, the entire education system was based only on Srimad Bhagwatam. We will read in the introduction of the Srimad Bhagwatam. It has the details about medical science, military science, Ayurveda. So there was no other book required other than specialization in Srimad Bhagwatam. So, and the society was surviving even more happily. We might be having more number of resources currently, but we have forgotten our real consciousness. And this has made us even worse than those pigeons. Because pigeons will eat 20 times, looking here and there, and for the rest of the time, it is free. It is not going to accumulate it, unlike we human beings. So we have degraded ourselves over a period of time. Otherwise, our position is like a judge in the court. He gets too many facilities, and he does not do that much hard work as a clerk does. The clerk is meant to do the hard work more because the consciousness of the judge is higher, and he is meant to get the things without much hard work because he has a higher role. Similarly, we human beings are supposed to endeavor only for the Krishna Bhakti. But because we have been involved into our just sense gratification, our situation has become like this. That and a time will come when even the basic things, getting the water, getting the food, will be so challenging. Why do we want to wait for? I'm speaking to first to myself actually. So why do we want to wait for such a time when the things become so difficult? Let us all pray the Lord, Srila Prabhupada, that we break the cycle of this circle, right? Number 6. This is another word that we can take away from today. Number 6. Because it shows that the point of intersection is the hope, the human form of life, right? H, human form of the life is the only hope to meet Hari. H. So let us all pray the Lord that we become more and more sincere. All we need is to become sincere and serious in the bhakti. And then the Lord sitting is inside our heart. He's the same Paramatma. By the way, it's an interesting question. If I have my Atma and Paramatma sitting inside me, and if we have 2 people, then how many? What is the count? So the count is not 4. Count is 3. Because Atma is unique. Everyone's Atma is unique, but the Paramatma is one. So we cannot say my Paramatma and his Paramatma. Paramatma is one. So when the same Paramatma is sitting inside everyone's heart, and if we are trying to serve him, then nobody can stop us to progress. Because this is what the Lord wants. When we go against the Lord helps then also. like the Mother Earth. Even if you are going to, some people grow rice, wheat, dal, and some people grow poison and many other non-healthy things which are going to harm the society, drugs, right? But Mother Earth still fulfills the need without any biasness. Even if you're happy or not as a parent, still do it. Point is what? To become tolerant. And see, tolerance is such a beautiful thing. I know it's very easy to say. When it comes, it is difficult. But then if you don't discuss, the possibility becomes even further less. So tolerance is an amazing tool because it helps us to become more purified. How? If I'm not able to tolerate something, it means it is something which is not as per my plan. And if it is not as per my plan, it is as per Krishna's plan, because nothing can be outside his plan. So when we become tolerance, it is helping us to become indirectly more closer to the Lord, because we are trying to learn and accept Krishna's plan. Krishna's ultimate plan is to take us back to Godhead. And every time when we are not tolerating, very interesting point, okay? Every time whenever we are not tolerating, we are becoming an obstacle in Krishna's plan to take us back to Godhead. If we have a higher purpose, higher vision, we will not bother about what are the things going around us. Last week, Nitya and Trayosi went, and we are discussing so many animals, right? Tigers. So this is the last point of the day, right? So one of the associate of Nityanand Prabhu, Avadhuta, is like he went to the forest and he finds a tiger, and then he slaps the tiger and tells, "You chant Krishna," and then the tiger starts. So we are into an amazing parampara where, for the benefit of the tiger, he was made to do chanting. So maybe if we think ourselves, why are we discussing again tiger example here? Because if we look at from the point of view of the tiger, it must be a very difficult tolerating condition for him, somebody slapping, right? But then, because of the amazing mercy of Nityanand Prabhu and his amazing associates, right, we forget what we are tolerating, because now the purpose is the Lord. So with this, I stop here. We are done with the time and the shlokas. So let us all remember the key learnings of the day, which includes becoming tolerant like Mother Earth, giving those things which we, even if we don't want to give, but because the time requires, people, they have this desire, even if we are unpleasing, fulfill that. Okay, the best thing that we can give by ourselves is Krishna Prema. Narad Muni prays in the Namastakam. Rupa Goswami writes that, "Oh Lord, if you want me to preach about your holy name, then you please give me the taste so that I can do some justice by spreading it further." So let us seek the prayers, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the amazing parampara, that we become an instrument in their hands and do something constructive. So that's it from here. Like, if you have any comments, question, kindly forgive me if I said something which I should not have.